Now, as you saw in the intro of the video, we had John Deaton, who came out 2 years ago when Judge Torres stated that XRP itself is not a security. I want you to rehear that. XRP is not a security, and cited that nearly 4,000 XRP holder affidavits that he submitted, John Deaton represented XRP holders in this, was actually very helpful in the deciding factor. Out of over 2,000 exhibits submitted by the parties, Judge Torres only cited a few dozen in her summary judgment decision. XRP holder affidavits was one of them. And I had to bring that up. That leads into this because the SEC sets July 17th for their vote. The Ripple case dismissal is on the table. A historic moment for XRP could be just days away. And on top of that, for our XRP army, the Federal Reserve has officially implemented the ISO 20022 for Fedwire. And this marks a major step towards faster, more efficient cross-border payments. And guess what? XRP and the XRP ledger are built for this standard. So as we see here, a note coming out, Fedwire adopts international messaging. It is official as of July 14th. And if you're excited, I'm excited, and whales are definitely getting excited. A massive $15 million worth of XRP in a long position just opened on Hyperliquid. The long-short ratio is now 79.39% long. Whales plus retail equals full sin mode. Bulls are taking over, so very exciting to see that massive trades are happening for XRP. Now, you know that this always happens for Bitcoin and Ethereum. You see these big trades, but to have a long leverage position on XRP of $15 million is very exciting to see. And we even have a post here from WhaleFud. XRP is witnessing a significant resurgence in whale activity that may be setting the stage for a notable market shift.
Nick here. Quick heads up for all you smart investors watching this. If you love to see your crypto actually working for you, earning passive income every single day on your coins, we're putting together something really cool. On July 20th, we're running our first ever free online event challenge. It's called the Crypto Passive Cash Flow Challenge. And it's basically 3 days where you'll learn our DeFi strategies we use to safely earn passive yield on our coins 24/7, even while we sleep. And some people are doing crazy numbers with this strategy alone. And if you had some coins that you're just holding on to, you should join us and discover how to put them to work. We've never done anything like this publicly before, and we probably won't ever do it again. So it's completely free, but we might have to limit spots to keep the quality high and give everyone proper attention with the size of our YouTube channel, over 360,000 subscribers now. So if you want in, just click the link below this video, grab your spot while you can. And now back to the video.
And what is that notable market shift? Well, here we go, ladies and gentlemen. ProShares Ultra XRP ETF is now listed on the DTCC under the ticker UXRP. The launch date, July 18th. So very interesting timing, right? SEC sets the date of July 17th. The very next day, all of a sudden, confirmed via official SEC filing. This is not speculation anymore. The momentum is real. We are so back. And here we can see the listing applied, UXRP, the ProShares Ultra XRP ETF. Then we also have Digital Asset Investor having a great clip here from the Chris Tipper show that he hosts on X. And let's take a look at this.
The token, the XRP token sitting there, like it feels from a lot of what you're describing, even saying those early moves that Ripple, the company, made, like Ripple is setting itself up to be an absolute monster here, like almost an empire of that's covering all of these areas. Do people feel, or is there a risk that the people who were the long-term supporters through the XRP token get left behind if they manage to pull this off, which it appears they're doing, and effectively conquer the world?
Yeah, well, you've still got all these assets that need to run on the blockchain. The blockchain is powered by the XRP token. So, you know, the protocol is still where the value is. And, you know, like I think Glenn Hutchins from former New York Fed and formerly, I don't know if he's still with Grayscale back in the days of Barry Silbert, he famously said, you know, that the price is a distraction, the value is in the protocol. Now, if Ripple aren't building this protocol out to promote the XRP ledger and the use of the XRP token, well, I'm not here. I know that they constantly come out with the FUD saying, People go, oh, it's just going to be RLUSD and the XRP is going to be left behind. It's not. It needs to run on something. It runs on something that provides, So I know people can get frustrated. The price moves sideways. The price moves sideways for years. Stuck at 22 cents. And now we seem to be stuck at $2.22. Well, that's not so much a big problem. That's kind of cool. But
from where it was,
you're not going to argue. But look, it does have room to go. And look, I think as this space matures, we start to understand that, financial products, they're a lot more complex than just payments. Okay, so there's a lot of other things they're going to tap in here, a lot of DeFi products, a lot of other Wall Street central bank products and treasury functions and all this sort of stuff. The Ripple, if they do get it, can access in and absolutely turbocharge what the XRP ledger has always been capable of. And I mean, we haven't even discussed the decentralized exchange, the DEX that lives in the XRP ledger and has since day one. Yep. So, we're swapping assets to assets in a decentralized way. Hasn't been used anywhere near where it should have been. And maybe that starts to wake up as well with other assets moving on it, which could be tokenized treasuries, could be anything if they do get this banking license. But yes, the XRP community has felt a little kind of, well, that's another good news. Normally when you have good news, normally the price goes down. It's just weird, but like a beach ball underwater, you keep pumping that thing full of good news gas, eventually it's going to explode through the surface. And I think we're positioned for that.
Like a beach ball underwater, you keep pumping it up and you're going to explode through the surface. And we've definitely started doing that, approaching that $3 mark. Now can we break through to $3.40? We'll take a look at the charts here shortly. On top of that, we also have Tomoya Asakura, CEO of SBI Global Asset Management, dropping a bold statement. This is not just another crypto. This is the wealth transfer of our generation. So do you know what you hold? Let me know down in the comment section if you're fired up, XRP Army. Now, on top of all that, we have great news here. The Federal Reserve just issued an official announcement and a statement saying banks are allowed to custody Bitcoin and crypto. This is official. Regulatory clarity is finally here. Institutions now have the green light. The path to mass adoption just opened wide up. And speaking of mass adoption, as you all know, it is crypto week, and these are the key dates to watch. We're going to cover that before we go through the article and deep dive into that. Let's take a listen to what the Senate Banking Committee is calling to create here.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman, for holding this hearing and for indulging us in finally addressing the topic of digital assets. When I arrived here 4.5 years ago, there was very little knowledge about digital assets. And to the extent that there was fear because it is something about which people knew very little, and in some cases still know very little. Yet the industry has innovated and grown and become a force in our economy. And in fact, in the global economy, we now see one digital asset company not only make an appearance on the S&P 500, but come into the S&P 500 in about the 135th position. That's how big this company is. We see several companies going public this year that are based in the digital asset industry. Yet we've seen foreign countries get ahead of the United States in terms of establishing a clear regulatory framework for digital assets. We have allowed regulatory agencies that are unfriendly toward this asset to use regulatory functions such as enforcement actions to bring about a regulatory morass for these industries when they've been unable to find out what regulatory framework they're supposed to follow, not having received clear guidance from the regulatory agencies to which they're subject and hope to comply. So we finally have an industry coming and requesting regulation. So we know the rules of the road, so we can integrate this tremendous new technology into our economy. And so the time has come And Mr. Chairman, I'm so pleased that you recognize the relevance, importance of the United States leading in this space.